Right, so I have returned once again today to actually deliver another stream of Bakemonogatari. That's it, as I always say, we actually get life on the old YouTubes, that is. I forgot to... actually can't speak either. I forgot to turn down my headphones as well. We actually are good to go as well. So anyway, yes, we actually are... Headphones actually turned down as well, thank God. we actually are today covering the Nadeko Snake arc of the actual entire series, which I believe is a penultimate arc of Bakemonogatari itself, because the last section of the entire anime is literally Tsubasa Cat. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the second to last arc of the entire series, and let's actually count Bakemonogatari Kuro as well, actually comes beforehand, but God, and where I actually say this series out loud, and where it actually becomes a lot more confusing to me to remember where I have to go after this point. But yeah, anyway, we did last stream actually finish off Suruga Monkey arc of the entire series. Actually, was really fucking good. I did actually really like it because again, it's very much a spin on the entire like mythos of like, I guess the kind of grim fairy tales you would kind of imagine to be, because again, the idea of like the monkey paw scenario actually kind of taken precedent in the entire anime, but it's actually kind of then flipped on its head, but then also kind of adds a bit more of a personal touch to it. Actually was kind of cool, and the actual conclusion itself was kind of awesome as well. Really did like it. Also liked how it didn't just implicate Kanbaru either. It's actually everyone, technically speaking, that actually we learned something about, to be honest. Even though the one character we still have Shadow Mystery his entire time is still Hanekawa. She's the one she's best girl, but also subsequently also stuck in some kind of mysterious place. We still don't know everything about her. But I imagine by next stream actually probably will learn a lot more about her. So actually I'll today cover episodes 9 and 10, because 11 to 15 is just the last arc, which probably will be covered in 2 parts. I imagine I'll probably do 1 and 2 on Tuesday next week, and actually do 3, 4, and 5 the day afterwards, if all goes well. So anyway, it's actually put on Twitter, actually gone live. Also, might be able to cover it earlier should the actual vaccine part 2 not actually hit me as much as it hit me last time. If all goes well on... fuck. I hit the wrong button. If all goes well on Sunday, I might be able to cover this on Sunday as well, but I'm not holding my breath because 9 out of 10 times the actual vaccine does hit me quite a bit. But anyway, enough talk of that. It's actually a show on the road. It starts thing... Oh, I didn't actually put episode 9 on. God damn it. There we go. That's better. Right. So anyways, I start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Start this thing absolutely now. Man, I do really miss Shaft, to be honest. I know they're actually doing a series this season, but it's still just miss that Shaft. Is this the actual arc that has the song in it though? Oh yeah, it's a chance meeting down a pair of stairs. Yes! Holy shit. I finally reached the goddamn song. Well, one of them at least. I know the other one is, oh god, Platinum Disco. That's the other song. But god, this is like the song. But yeah, I mean, this series is like one of those series you can't really like define, because it's like, it's just so it's its own thing entirely. It's like it exists in a vacuum somewhere in the world that you just like, yeah, Bakemonogatari is cool, but I just can't like you can't define it. It's just it's literally like everything in one, but at the same time nothing at all. Like the entire thing last time with utilizing the known being the monkey paw scenario, but making it unknown is actually kind of cool because again, I do sometimes see a lot more of like those kind of storylines utilized in anime. The idea of utilizing what we know, but kind of then spinning it to be a bit more supernatural, a bit more personal. Which is a running thing when it comes to Japanese horror as well, because horror tends to kind of be very personal. So I like how it was strictly about Kambaru, but at the same time, it wasn't just about her, because in turn, you learn more about everyone else. And that's actually kind of cool. Because one of those things that we kind of don't... One of those things we want to know more about is Senju Hara, because again, we literally know nothing about her besides the certain things we've been told by her this entire time, or the other blanks being filled in by other characters. But even then, are they a reliable narrator? That's the other thing to know. So I like how the show does sort of like drift into the whole entire idea of actually make you wonder if everything we know about her is true or not. And actually then also teach us about her as well. That was cool. Ah, snakes. The actual title of the actual arc as well. Or one of the words actually is a snake. Osho just kind of sits and looks cool. That's his entire purpose. Just kind of sitting in like a entire room with destroyed shit. Looking cool while doing it. See, point proven. He sits upon a whole entire table of tables. You're like, bro, it's impractical but cool. It's a good point. What would be worse, to be honest? Being buried at sea or buried in some remote mountain? I guess being buried at sea would probably be worse, because at least in a remote mountain you'd be kind of like, ah, it's a mountain, it's kind of cool. You're buried alive, but at the same time, mountains are cool. In the sea, you just kind of drown. And that ain't cool. Though I do actually imagine probably a cave would be even worse, to be honest. Oh yeah, it's a shaft neck. I have missed the shaft neck so much. Well, it is quite abandoned, to be honest. This entire scene's like really goddamn tense for them trying to figure out whether or not to eat or not. Araragi just kind of moving backwards really slowly and really kind of like, bro, what the hell's going on here? Versus Kanbaru kind of being like, fuck, I'm gonna pass out any second right now. Every single stream is always a please car. Always. It would appear this ain't going so well. Well, thank God actually wasn't the ending to Blair Witch, instead. Oh shit, there's blood. This is a goddamn murder scene now. Entire scene actually was kind of cool though, because it actually was framed in such a way that kind of makes it seem as if they're being watched the entire time. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of like a very almost normal thing to do when it comes to camera work, but the way they did it in the show actually was kind of awesome. Utilized the actual scenery itself to actually kind of heighten that sense of like almost being watched. At least we got best girl. Am I the only one that actually finds Hanako to be best girl though? I don't know if I'm alone on this whole entire thing. Tends to be the case most of the time. Like, am I alone with just thinking that Hanako actually is true best girl of the whole entire anime series? Oh, so it's pretty normal to be honest. So yeah, we saw that and just ran the fuck out of there. That's it. I like that way of thinking. You hardly ever see anyone else think like that. Now in 10 times everyone kind of goes, whoa bro, what the fuck is that? We gotta go investigate. You're like, bro, why would you do that? It's kind of scary to think about it. It's kind of scary. Oh shit, the occult section. It's the occult section. I actually have no idea if I ever found the occult section of my own bookstore, to be honest. Actually, mighty curious now. Also have to remember that she was so scared of actually getting like actually getting what's it called? What's the name of that? What's the word? She was so scared that she actually reverted back to 1960s animation. Yeah, Shinjuku Hado actually wants to bury, was going to at some point bury Araragi alive in a mountain. I'd say they're actually pretty much perfect for each other, to be honest. Ooh. Man, that would be nice. That actually tends to happen a lot over in what I've seen in my life, that people actually do them for just go on trips around the world after they graduate. I kind of always wanted to do it as well, to be honest. Kind of cool. Just to kind of be like, fuck it, I'm gonna actually go around the world for a little while. There's actually a lot of books on the magic and occult as well, to be honest. So this is some scary shit. Also, daily reminder how fucking expensive books are. Good lord, they're expensive. That's a pretty Kino shot, to be honest. I must admit, that's some fucking Kino shit right there. Let's hope I actually don't find some more corpses of snakes, though. This is for the days of Facebook and just being like, bro, how's it going? It's been like 10 years. How's it going? Nowadays, that's how's everyone just kind of introduces themselves again. Oh. I always want to know how high Shaft is while making architecture in these animes. Because half the shit they do in these buildings, you're just like, how the fuck does any of that work? It's like Frank Lloyd Wright just kind of like, I don't know, got high one day and actually started to do architecture as well. Even more than his like Blade Runner house. Because a lot of the time you're kind of like, wait a minute, how does that even work? She got put into horny jail. Man. Man. He just got caught. He's got caught. Man's porn taste now out in the open. She just kink shamed him. Most importantly, I actually really want that banana seat. I was looking at that banana seat the entire time, like, man, I really want a banana seat. Was it a moon seat? There is so much to unpack in that one scene, it's beyond belief. Could it be a snake? Got that Kambaru. She was trying to like defuse the situation, and Araragi kind of said it really bluntly. The inadvertently made it even worse. Well, it's always the goddamn snakes. What? Who told us to fear the snakes all along? Who told us that? It was goddamn Indiana Jones. He was like, it's always the snakes. It's always got to be snakes. It's true. Snakes do be scary though. Yeah, good episode. I mean, it kind of sort of drifts back into like the previous, I would say before, it sort of feels like an extension, a little bit of like Maui Snail as well. Sort of that kind of feeling, a little bit more, I guess, kind of relaxed. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like, it's not to the same like degree as I would say Saluga Monkey was, but at the same time, I still do quite like it. It's actually kind of an interesting arc that sort of like explores the idea of like rituals and shit like that, the idea of snakes, and actually how destructive they can be. Because if not poisoning you, they kind of just be there vibing, doing some pretty shady shit, I guess. Let's be real. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they conclude this one, considering it's only one episode long, so it's not a very long one. But I mean, yeah, it's a pretty interesting arc that kind of also reintroduces the character from the past, which I also guess will probably be a what's the actually correct term? Like a recurring character, I guess, in the entire series. Let's be real. The one thing we actually have to remember is the fact that Araragi actually was caught in 4K as well. Man. Anyway. Oh shit. Right, so MPV doesn't wait. It sort of just goes straight into the next episode. It doesn't. It waits for no one. I should put on Twitter. So we actually watch episode 10 now. The hell is that? It's a really weird film on my timeline just there, and I was like, what the hell is that? On cool. Watching episode 10 now, and with that we should be good to go. So hopefully what should happen by all accounts is if the vaccines that hit me so much on Sundays, I might be able to cover the first 2 episodes of Tsubasa Cat on Sunday. But by all accounts, I think I might take Sunday off just in case, because last time it kind of hit me and I was out cold for an entire day, probably almost 2. So I probably will just take a day off and probably cover the last two bits of Bakemonogatari on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we should be on our way to, at some point, cover Monogatari, because I know summer's quite quiet now, so I might be able to actually kind of slot these ones in a bit more often. Also got to go and buy, shoot, what's the name of that film series? Kizumonogatari as well. I still have not bought those ones. I have the rest of them, but I don't have that one. So I've got to buy those at some point. So I know those come in at some point before I swear it's before season 2 of Monogatari. I swear it goes like this, Nisei, and then it goes, or to go Kuro, then it goes the films, then it goes Monogatari season 2, or Monogatari season 2 is the next bit. One of the two, one of the three, one of the seven, I don't know. Anyway, enough talk. Actually gonna show on the road. Start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing absolutely now. One thing I must have to do is actually fix the hotkeys on my I didn't change the thing. Fuck. Man, I wish I could live in a house that's actually completely destroyed, but also it's kind of awesome. Oh. Is there a encyclopedia for that? And now begins the training arc of Araragi actually learning about curses. But yeah, I mean, this series is it's interesting. It's one of those series is that it just is a lot of things going on to make you go but then you kind of like some Kino shit at the exact same time. It sort of drifts into kinography sometimes as well. Like, you kind of like, bros, I have acquired the kinography right here. I can imagine Akishimbo waking up one day and being like, boys, we have the kinography right here in our hands. And then just like unleashed it, and actually everyone was like, holy shit, bro, what have you fucking done? Anime will never be the same ever again. And that's basically the whole entire story of Monogatari, the series itself. I do actually I like stuff like this a lot. That's why I kind of liked a lot Jujutsu Kaisen, because curses have been one of those things I always like learning about. Don't ask me why. I don't get why I like it so much, but at the same time, if I ever get a series of like, here's a bunch of curses and shit like that, I'm like, boy, I'm all listening. I'm here for it. It's always that and what's it called? It's always that and Urban Legends. I like them both. Because they're fucking terrifying sometimes. I love it. Makes me hope that one day we actually might get an adaptation of 25th Ward done by Shaft. They're the only people I know that actually could like bring the craziest shit that Suda 5-1 ever makes into like reality. I suppose Sengoku's actually voiced by kind of Hanazawa as well. That's even worse. Let's be real. Being constricted by a snake and actually being like, yeah, this shit's okay. I'm not in pain or anything. It's like, bruh, it's even worse. Oh yes, like my favorite album, Free Skeletons. Oh, she was like, fuck, the tables fell again. Did he say all of that while also falling down though? That'd be amazing. Or should I just kind of like, here's my exposition while I'm also falling to my death. But it won't be that easy. The thing that actually isn't Red Moon, as it would be very much Kill with the Past. Like, cause second my brain was like, wait a minute, it's saying one direction's dead and the other one's end, or is it just both ways dead ends? Confused my brain for a second. I was like, wait a minute. It's like, oh shit. I actually like Kanbaru and Araragi together as well. They're actually quite great. They bounce off each other really damn well. Kanbaru is actually kind of adorable as well. She's great. Uh-huh. And then actually got her cursed as well. Oh. Well, that was a scary zoom in. I must admit. It's like just trying to like say, by the way, yeah, I was jealous he actually had a she actually had a big brother. I was like, what? Chef, what's with the goddamn zoom? He just got exposed again. Everyone's kind of laughed that whole entire thing off as well. What is happening outside my door? Shaft, what's with these camera angles? It's sort of starting to scare me a little bit. Shaft actually can make an ordinary scene kind of fucking terrifying. You're like, Shaft, what the fuck are you doing here? Uh-huh. Interesting. And that is the actual evolution? No, the actual explanation to why she actually does call him Big Brother. Alright, interesting. That's what you hope. It was indeed. It's a pretty cool shot. As once again. Shaft have a very cinematic eye when it comes to anime as well, to be honest. For better or worse, sometimes. Sometimes it's actually kind of like, Shaft, that's actually kind of a cool shot, and Shaft and Alpha Ty's like, Shaft, what the fuck are you doing here? Is Oshino okay? He fell down last time. God damn it, I was trying to fall down again. Bracer broke. God damn it. Been told by 2 people now, actually, about the whole thing with helping people. Actually being nice to people as well. I guess this isn't going so well now. Araragi was kind of like, yeah, this is going pretty damn well, actually. Yeah, 9 out of 10 times things don't go well with these kind of things. Well, that's just fucked up, man. And the wise words of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Holy shit, there's 2 of them. Ew! Snakes are assholes sometimes. Yo, just don't do anything with legs, please. What the fuck? It's one of those things that just... I can't deal with shit like that. It's the little things in life that get me the most. Anything else, I'm like, ah. Like, when it comes to blood I'm like, eh. Alright. But stuff like this, I'm like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that to me, please. That actually kind of makes sense when you think about it, though. The entire thing with the resentment. These actually have come by to the actual rescue, though. Huh. Essentially, don't be a hero, bro, or be more than one hero, I guess, in this context. Goddamn snakes. Indiana Jones actually was right his entire time. You don't have invisible glasses, bro. You can't see invisible shit just yet. Cusses suck, bro. When you think about it, cusses suck. I mean, in both contexts, when you think about it, it's one of those things that the person who cursed her was gonna go back. Well, I can't say the word fuck. The curse was gonna go back to the curse was gonna go back to the person who originally enacted the curse itself. So basically, it was kind of screwed as well. You know, yeah, they put a curse on it, curse on her as well. It's one of those things that is. Curses suck, bro. That's the major thing. That's the T in the end, isn't it? Curses suck. So it's one of those things you never know what's gonna happen. So I do appreciate the show actually kind of also bring into question a lot of Araragi's actual own personality as well, because of him trying to save a load of people as well, kind of doesn't really always backfire sometimes. And one of those things it was going to then until like Kambodo actually kind of intervened and actually kind of saved the day. So I do actually like how the show does, to a degree, it implicates more people than the actual centralized character of the whole entire arc. It's one of those animes that does really kind of benefit from actually doing that more so than it not, I guess. If it just focused on, say, Sengoku the entire time, it wouldn't be bad. You wouldn't be like, oh shit, this is kind of terrible or anything like that. No. What it does in theory do instead, it actually kind of gives you this really interesting overall kind of progression, because practically speaking, the show doesn't progress in an ordinary fashion. Kind of like how after 10 episodes actually kind of get, we actually kind of already knew, but actually kind of like after 10 episodes we actually finally find out that the narrators of the endings are in fact actually Araragi's sisters. That's actually kind of funny as well, to be honest. I quite like that. Ow. Right, anyway. Pause. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, as I said during the previous arc, I said during that one as well, that the show does sort of do an interesting way of actually kind of progressing the entire narrative. Because there is, practically speaking, no overarching narrative to the show. There's nothing that gives us a defined idea that this show is progressing to a point. Rather, it's individual characters that actually have problems that are kind of getting sorted out. It's very much more akin to something like Kino's Journey or something like that. That kind of like that wandering aspect of like almost just fixing certain things actually then moving on, rather than actually kind of having this lofty goal at the end of it all. But what this show does do differently is the idea that at the end of it all, it's not just the character who had the problem that actually gets fixed, that subsequently actually grows. No, everyone else around them also grows, because we actually learn more about Aragi's actual personality during this whole entire arc and actually what he does. And it actually kind of does actually make a lot of sense when you actually kind of look back at a lot of the things we've seen this whole entire time. He's one of those people, he is one of those kind of people that wants to help everyone. Much more times his detriment than say his advantage, but at the same time, it is quite interesting that you actually do see that side of him in this arc a lot more. Than actually that could have really landed him in more of a problem than any other arc beforehand. Because in the previous arcs, he sort of just kind of gets to the point of almost dying, and actually kind of like, well, Araragi almost died. Holy shit! But in this one, you're actually kind of like, well, holy shit! Araragi actually might have been kind of screwed in this context. So I actually kind of like how the show does bring a lot into question. It's one of those things that is very pivotal to actually his whole entire character. I like how that was a centralized point in the whole entire episode. As well, what I did actually kind of like as well was the camera work. The camera work itself was really damn great. I mean, yeah, sometimes it does drift into a bit too much of voyeurism a little bit. But at the same time, I do actually kind of wonder whether or not there is a kind of like a reason to why voyeurism exists in the show. More so than just it being voyeurism in a way. So I kind of like the use of the voyeurism in the opening of episode 9, the idea of actually how utilized this idea of being followed, the idea of actually using the bamboo to actually kind of heighten the sense of someone being behind it. It's one of those things that, because of the way the actual plants were actually organized, it was one of those things that maybe have not been seen to the naked eye themselves. So I actually kind of like that whole use of voyeurism. I like the idea of I like the idea of like when you see characters being followed, because it's always one of those things that is quite interesting, because it's not a physical entity in this context. You're not being followed by some physical entity in the world. Rather, it's a curse. And I kind of like how it does utilize that whole entire idea. It utilizes what we know as a camera technique to actually kind of heighten sense of being followed, but actually kind of utilizes it, god damn it, in a kind of supernatural way. It actually kind of does heighten that sense of fear that you have during scenes like that, and I kind of respect the show for doing that. It's one of those things you see it a lot more in anime than I do see in film a lot nowadays. Don't get me wrong, if there's a horror film with a slasher movie or a horror movie that has some kind of entity following them, you will see shots like that. But 9 out of 10 times it's very conventional kind of utilization of that whole technique. But here it kind of serves a purpose as well. It actually is kind of cool, and I actually like how the mystery itself actually was unraveling. So yeah, now actually heading into like the heading now into the, I guess, the massive arc of the entire series. That isn't just the opening of this whole entire series itself, which actually was massive as well. We're actually heading into like the big arc of the whole entire series. So actually can't wait to see how it does actually play out. So do be on the lookout for that on either Sunday. I'm not kind of being very hopeful on Sunday, but if anything changes, I will do it on Sunday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. There's probably the 2 days you probably will see it on Tuesday and Wednesday, so do be on the lookout for those on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that should be the end of Bakemonogatari, I believe. So until then, I have indeed been the driver. So as always, if you have enjoyed this whole entire show and Doom Free, always leave a like, because it does help me quite a bit. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire show and Doom Free, also leave a sub as well on YouTube, because both do help quite a lot. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire show and Doom Free, also follow me on Twitter, because it does help quite a bit. You will then know when your streams are live and any other streams I do as well. And as always, ご視聴ありがとうございます。僕の動画を面白いと思ったら、いいねやチャンネル登録をお願いします。So next time with episode 11 and 12 of Bakemonogatari on either Tuesday. I'm kind of going for Tuesday.